Hi, happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's alright. I'm feeling a little bit irritable and I always feel like I want to vomit in my throat, so I thought I'd better get some shit off my chest. But like, I have wanted to do a video anyway for a while, and I said to myself yesterday, like a child, like you have to say to a child, tomorrow I'm going to do this at this time. So I'd got in my head tomorrow at midday I'm going to do a little video. And it's earlier than midday, so I'm doing better than I thought. But I needed to come in earlier because I'm actually annoyed. Yeah, I'm just feeling irritable. I've got quite. Does it even matter? Does it matter? I can use the not excuse, but the extra reason of like harsh astrological energies towards my personal planets, you know. So, and whenever I look at the stars and the planets and I see where they are, and I might have to do a bit more research about, you know, what that means. And then, you know, I've been learning astrology pretty heavily for probably like 18 months now, nearly 2 years or something. Prior to that, interested in it, you know, and so bit by bit, I'm getting there, and it always seems to resonate with me, and I'm like, oh God, yeah, like I'm feeling that, you know. And so I don't know, I've just found it difficult recently. I think just being in the midst of this horror show is sometimes just too much as well, isn't it? It's really interesting. Like I find that when I'm feeling quite strong or quite good and grounded, nothing bothers me, you know, nothing really bothers me. And I can look at information that would ordinarily bother the fuck out of me, and I can just not assimilate it and let that sit within my vibes, you know. I'm pretty good at, you know, the energetic shield and all that. But I do feel like it's been weakened recently, and like things just are trippy anyway, aren't they? Like the synchronicities are crazy. Like I've been having like instant, weird, odd coincidences, you know, where like, I wrote this one down and it's annoyingly the only one I can remember now, but you know when you just have a thought and then you look and there it is, or you are talking to someone about something and then you carry on watching some bullshit you were watching before, and then the words and the subject that you were just saying are brought up, and it's just like weird things like that, you know, a bit like, yeah, just like a little bit like deja vu as well, where it's like you just feel like it's all just happened before. And yeah, again, hilariously synchronistic as well. Like I lost the fucking car keys this morning or yesterday. Somebody's lost them, and I was the last person to have it, which really pisses me off because I'm quite good with stuff like that. I try to be anyway, and I've got like a place that I usually put it, and it just disappeared today, and I didn't even look for it until I had to go at the last minute. And then obviously, you know, couldn't find them. My blood started to boil, and I don't know, I just feel like still like I'm watering down some fiery rage within me, within my field, within my memories or genetic code or ancestry. I've got whatever. I could place the label or the blame wherever, but I'm still feeling shitty within me, you know. And how that manifests with me is like just huge annoyance and irritability. And you know, I've really got better over the years, but I still get, you know, ashamed of the way that I can project with my energy or my face, my frown, my voice, you know. It's funny, I was like explaining to the kids early this morning, I was like, oh God, like, I'm sorry, like, I got so annoyed about like losing things, like losing the keys. It's so annoying. And I'm like, and I had to explain to them that like inside me is this innate need to blame, you know, to blame another or to blame anyone else, you know, like, it wouldn't be me because I'm fucking marvellous. And it's like, yeah, it was me. Get over it. Anyway, so I searched for it for about an hour and a half this morning when I got back, and I'm like, no, fuck it, I've given up. So the synchronicity with that was that I was listening to someone who was saying that these like little tasks, and you know, I've felt this, I've even said this in videos before over the years, but they come in like these personal ways. So you might get insomnia, or you might feel or hear buzzing in your ear or vibrating in your body or whatever, or your car keys might go missing. And it was saying, you know, about the car key gnomes, and I was like chuckling to myself yesterday thinking, you know, without getting scared about things like this, it really is just sort of the law of attraction, really, isn't it? And what you vibrate and is going to be what you're experiencing. And so, you know, I'm trying not to give a shit about the car keys, but I'm still sort of like, whoops, I'm still kind of like just enraged with shit. And again, this coronavirus shit, it's just too much. And although I felt like prepared, and I'm really grateful for my point in the journey when this shit started, it was really easy for me to see it for what it was and then to just ground, you know. And yeah, and like, I don't know, I guess like I observe different things for different reasons, and I always get like, I feel like this need sometimes to just like calm everyone the fuck down, you know, like myself included, with theories and thoughts and, you know, half-brained, full of fear, sort of like conclusions and things like that. Like I am quite I don't know what you'd call it, a realist or a rationalist or something like that. You know, deep down, you know, it's like I'm very this is not a great thing. I'm not being like, ooh, I'm very cynical. It's like, because, you know, part of my soul's awakening is realizing that this hard shell that I created and lived within my whole life up until these last few years, you know, it's a prison as well as a, you know, protective shield or whatever. And I'm very aware that part of my journey is to learn to trust more and to soften more, you know. Oh man, like, so it's funny because someone commented on the very first video I ever did the other day, which was when I was super fresh into the awakening, and I was just full of joy and like wonder, and I still do get there, you know, in peaks and troughs, but I don't know. Anyway, this person was like, oh, I hope someday I can be where you are. And I thought, bloody hell, like, really? Fuck, you know, like... And it just made me again realise like how much horseshit like these social media platforms are, and what we portray to whoever we think's down the other end of ears. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm talking to myself. That's why I can't have it this way, because I just can't see myself when I'm telling me jokes. Oops. But yeah, it's all such horseshit. Like, we all think that everybody's living these better lives, and you know, I feel much better than I did 3 years ago when this first video was done or whatever, you know. And the growth is massive for me in hindsight. But I was just like, you know, it felt good for me to receive a comment like that, where someone was like, oh my God, I hope one day I can be like how you're feeling. And it's like, fucking hell. So this is how difficult it is to actually be a happy, healthy human in this day and age. And, you know, I don't know, personally, like I said at the start, like my shield has just felt a bit weak. And with the synchronicities again and the coincidences and shared thoughts and, you know, I've been watching lots of things. I was recommended to watch a few documentaries, like 5-hour-long documentaries. And they were amazing and thought-provoking, and you know, it's it's a narrative that makes sense to me in some ways, you know, that there was an advanced civilization here before us, and that there was potentially some kind of event or cataclysm that caused the earth to go wobbly, you know, like lava, and sink everything. You know, rather than... And then again, coincidentally, I never watch Owen Benjamin anymore since he got took off YouTube because I'm too lazy. But I found one of his live streams yesterday, put it on, and he was just talking about everything that had been on my mind for the last 2 days. Like, and he was talking about this documentary that he'd watched as well. I might try and put a link into it here. And then I got recommended to watch another, like, long type thing called When the Buildings Cried. And again, it's all just the same, you know, the same sort of shared thoughts. And these are things as well that tie into completely organic, almost like, well, it's high intuition, isn't it? I wouldn't say it's knowledge, but it feels like, you know, like in just huge internal resonance with so many of these things. And yeah, it does amaze me that people don't really think about it or ask questions, you know, like, wow, these buildings, this architecture, you know, it's so fucking incredible. How did they do it if history is right in the timeline? I know you guys who watch my stuff, I'm sure we all watch the same fucking channels, the same shit, you know, and it can create quite an echo chamber, can't it? So I find that I've just never felt the need to talk about any of this before. Like, I've done videos, yeah, a couple of years ago talking about stuff like this, and I've just, you know, I think I just use this for therapy now. And, you know, there's so many channels talking about these things. But it was just interesting over this last week how it's confounded into this. And then Owen Benjamin said in this stream, which was another synchronicity, that people have been talking about, you know, was it the 1,000-year reign of Christ? And another thing that I'd watched had said the same thing. And, you know, it kind of makes sense in a way, doesn't it? That for 1,000 years, you know, maybe things were majestic and magnificent. But again, yeah, I love Owen Benjamin, he's great. But anyway, yeah, so, and it was another coincidence for me because just like the couple of days before, I'd been watching The Floor is Lava with my kids on Netflix and laughing about how staged it all is and such horseshit, you know, but like, and playing the game, The Floor is Lava, and then I thought it's interesting how that cropped up into, you know, the collective consciousness and was manifest into a game or a TV show, whatever. The floor is lava, and everyone jumps up, and it's like, maybe once the floor was fucking lava, and, you know, again, not to scare anybody, but I guess it's a potentiality that it could happen again. And yeah, we just know so little. We know so little, and yet the cognitive dissonance and the denial and the fear to look into these things is really weird and interesting. But again, it's just the same as the COVID shit, isn't it? Oh man. So I wrote down here like personal feelings. I literally just scribbled this before I came in. Yeah, I've been feeling it's almost like confession again. Irritability, annoyance. So like with the khaki gnomes, and we've got some moles in the garden, and it's just irritating. It's irritating because I don't want to kill them, obviously. I don't really want to catch it and move it either. And I'm just like the happy little moles under the garden, not causing me any trouble. But then they leave these great big fucking molehills on the grass, and I pick it up and it's lovely fresh like compost soil shit or whatever, and a few worms in it, and I just move it onto this other bit, and I do it every day. And every day I look at my neighbours on both sides with their fancy flipping stuff, and I feel envious and annoyed as well that the moles choose to just chew up my garden. It's just like a cosmic joke, you know. And every day I go out, it takes me ages to clear it up, and it happens again. And Yeah, so I've been feeling a little bit like, what's the word? What did I write down? I guess, yeah, just envious and unworthiness and sort of like muckiness, you know, associated with me because I'm comparing myself to these people on either side who have got nice gardens and, you know, good garden furniture and all the things. And so for the last few days or weeks or months or years, who knows, it's like a culmination. But I find myself actually feel, because usually, you know, when I'm feeling good, I'm like really happy for people who've got nice things, especially if they buzz off it, because I'm genuinely not that bothered. But when I'm feeling low, sometimes I'm like, I would like the moles not to chew up the garden. I'd like the dog not to shit on the floor, and I don't know, I'd like a nice table and chairs to sit at or something, you know. And these are things that I can do. Fucking hell. 555, yeah. So I've been having stagnation, lack of motivation, just feeling shit. And then I went down to see my friend the other day for a 2-day visit, and that was lovely, and it felt like an amazing reset. But I came back and I was still feeling, you know, just the same sort of aggravation. And I don't know how many of you guys have got kids or a family or whatever, but for me, it's like super important to be brutally honest about how I'm feeling about things. And like, yeah, I'm just like, the more aware I become of my own self, you know, it just adds perspective to how I'm parenting the kids. And I can just be really hard on myself sometimes, you know. And I've, yeah, noticed that when I got back, my daughter was being pretty harsh, you know, towards me. And there was a lot of sort of pent up sort of that came towards me. And I was trying to, because, you know, obviously it's only ever us and our own boundaries. So I was trying to ascertain what it was and blah, blah, but I was super vulnerable. And then she came out with a little sentence, you know, to try and hurt me or whatever. She was like, "You have a black heart." And because I was so vulnerable, like my eyes watered, and I went into the kitchen and I had to just like, you know, coach myself like, no, you're not, you've got a lovely heart. And she's just annoyed because you've told her to tidy that mess up. And she does have to learn how to tidy up after herself. So if I have to be the bad guy, you know, that's fine. And I have these little chats with myself, but it's constant. And it was funny because it just really it made me remember how fucking harsh I was with my parents growing up. Like I was brutal sometimes, the things I'd say, and I felt them, I meant them, and I said them. And yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah. And so it's interesting because if you feel like you're not doing very well as a parent, and you know the truth of it, like I know the truth of when I'm doing well and when I'm lacking a bit, or when I'm feeling, you know, irritable, or I'm not, you know, whatever, these things, how present are we is essentially all we ever need to try and aim for with kids. It's like, that's the beauty of it. It's like, that's all they want from us is the presence. So I guess it's a spectrum of how present or AWOL we are, you know. So yeah, I get it completely. And because I'm daily trying to do my best, I know that that's not true. So it doesn't leave a stain on me as much as it would have done my mum, who still carries, you know, such hurt, I think, from I don't know, I mean, from a lot of things, but who am I to judge? So yeah, so anyway, it's just interesting. But yeah, so I'd been feeling like a black-hearted parent after that comment. And yeah, and we sorted it out and we had a chat and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I was just sort of remembering my own ferocity again. And then it's just weird. It's like in my natal chart where my Mars is, it's conjunct. So it's right next to Pluto. And it's also right next to K2, the South Node, which is about past lives and also is quite a destructive type of energy as well. And so I just feel within my bones that I have been a warrior in many a lifetime, and I feel it so within me, flowing through me, like the blood within my body, and I feel like, yeah, like there's lots of things that I'm energetically trying to get, you know, get free from. Yeah, at the same time, I feel like I've always felt like this warrior, and like part of me is like, and this is the time when all the warriors will rise, you know? Because this is fucking shitting, fucking wanky bastard. Fucking fucked up, this shit that's going on in the world now from every angle. I mean, there's too much. Everything you look at is an inverted joke, and yeah, I think it's like, for me, I'm just trying to keep my shit together. And so always what helps is getting off the fucking phone, innit? Oh, I feel way better for talking and getting a bit of shit off my chest. Yeah. Also, I've been watching this guy for ages. He's called Lindsay Harris. I think he's from New Zealand or maybe Australia. I don't know. And he's great. And he's got a model of the realm, and it resonates with me. There's a few things, you know, that don't quite work out, and because I'm a little bit more further along on the astrological journey than he is, I think. But everything that I listen to, really, again, it sort of rings true with really, really deep internal resonance or intuition. I don't know. It feels like there's much in there. And again, coincidentally, I watched half of one of his latest videos this morning, and he was talking about how the ethers, the atmosphere, is split up into 5 different layers of frequency, and that the moon was a resonator that sends out the tones as it crosses the layers, a bit like strings on a guitar. And it reminded me of this video that I'd done in, you know, 2-3 years ago, whatever. And I was pondering the same thing again, and this was like just fresh organic thoughts, and I was staring out the window, just like imagining a stave up there, and that the planets were the musical notes, and that we are receiving these different harmonics, and we can help ourselves through these by knowing what they are, and working with the energies, you know, because sometimes it's very resonant and sometimes it's pretty dissonant and things feel a bit tougher, you know. But yeah, I really enjoy him, and he was talking about how to raise frequencies within your own vessel, you know, using vibrations, and he was doing a load of different types of examples of the humming vibration chants from around the world, and fucking hell, it gave me so much joy for a couple of minutes. It was like 4 minutes in. So I'm gonna put the video down there, and oh man, yeah. What's weird, oh, I can't be asked to go on now. It's just such crazy times. Such crazy times. Fuck. Right. Have a good day. This was clearly just for me to offload some bullshit. So, yeah. I keep losing subs, by the way, loads, all the time. And YouTube are fucking around with my views and my likes and stuff. And it doesn't really bother me. But it's interesting, since I got that video removed a few weeks ago, about the vaccine, and since then all my Sky videos have had like fact check banners on about chemtrails, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I never said anything about chemtrails. I'm just filming the sky, like, and now you're policing that with some bullshit, like. So yeah, interesting times. Anyway, thanks for being here, and yeah, like, I urge everyone to like speak shit into your phone and put it on YouTube. It's so fucking therapeutic, and yeah, things sometimes seem extra trippy because of it. Like, I learn lessons really super fast after I've done a video weirdly, so yeah, I get you on that. Anyway, yeah, happy Tuesday. Speak soon, bye.